Kamaru Usman and Henry Cejudo recently discussed the future of the featherweight division following Alexander Volkanovski's dominant performance at UFC 314, where he reclaimed his featherweight title in outstanding fashion. As the conversation turned to what's next, Yair Rodriguez, fresh off his win over Patricio Pitbull, was mentioned, with some suggesting a rematch with Volkanovski. However, considering that the first fight wasn't even close, with Volk controlling nearly every second, a second bout doesn't seem compelling. A much more logical next step would be Movsar Evloev, who, despite not being a fan favorite due to his grinding style, is undefeated and has taken out top-tier fighters like Diego Lopes, Arnold Allen, and former bantamweight champion Aljamain Sterling. His resume speaks for itself, and if we're talking meritocracy, Evloev is the rightful contender. As for Yair, both Henry and Usman suggested settling the beef with Diego Lopes, a fight that makes sense from a ranking standpoint, and
I do believe that more likely they're probably going to give him a lawyer to Alexander Volkanovski, and then for Diego Lopes, man, the fight that needs to be given for the two people that fought in the main event is it's logical. Diego Lopes versus Yair Rodriguez, UFC Noche in Mexico, in Guadalajara. I mean, that's a beef that they had at the press conference. I mean, Yair was saying that Lopez is not a Mexican, like he's just out there for likes.
I agree with you, Henry. I think the next logical step in at least giving Yair a move up, and Lopez, yes, he was kind of fast tracked there, but he did the work. He did the work to get there, to be fast tracked there. But you haven't fought Yair Rodriguez, and there's a couple of guys in that division that you know like you could now pick to fight. I would go. You're right. I would go Lopez and Yair Rodriguez for who's the king of Mexico.
Volkanovski reacts to his war with Diego Lopes, and despite the damage taken, he's actually glad his chin got tested after everything he's been through. The Aussie champ was proud of how he performed and happy he delivered for the fans in a fight that truly lived up to the hype. And really what a comeback story this was. Not long ago, Volkanovski was being written off after back-to-back knockout losses to Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. People questioned his durability, his mindset, even his future in the sport. But when the pressure was at its peak and his back was against the wall, Volkanovski reminded the world exactly who he is. He didn't just return. He returned in vintage Volkanovski fashion. High pace, elite timing, pure grit. Diego Lopes came in with all the momentum and fire, and Volkanovski welcomed the chaos, walked through hell, and made it his kind of fight.
Obviously I was landing nice clean jabs and some big shots, but some big shots would come back firing at me. So yeah, fun fight for the fans, for everyone enjoyed it, fight of the night. So that's good. I think I'm pretty happy that I still was able to get hit, and if I went out there and didn't get hit and didn't get my sort of chin tested, you know, just you get a lot more out of it, right? Like that's a lot of questions going in for everybody, and myself. You know, you got to go in there and be like, all right, are you going to go lights out again as soon as you get touched? And you know that wasn't the case. So it was good to go have a bit of a war. Go through a bit of adversity in there and bounce back. You know, you all know that I don't shy away from adversity. That fight had a bit of it in there. But again, credit to Lopez, incredible fighter. His takedown defense was good, like got him down early.
Jon Jones experiences an unexpected issue in his gym. One of his main sparring partners, a Russian professional heavyweight boxer named Leonid Grachev, revealed that Jon kicked him out of his camp and team. Leonid had been a key figure in Jon's boxing preparation for years, playing an active role in his recent training camps against Stipe and Cyril Gane. However, in a recent interview with a Russian channel, Leonid revealed that Jon ended their partnership and expelled him from the gym. The fallout happened after Leonid trained with Aspinall during Jon's ongoing preparations. Leonid had traveled to Tom's camp to train with him, a choice that sparked the conflict. Jon viewed Leonid's decision as an act of betrayal, and promptly severed ties with him both professionally and personally despite their previously close relationship. Leonid now acknowledges that the incident has brought their partnership to an end. Leonid stated, quote, "Recently I traveled to meet up with some of my old coaches in the UK and get some work in. We sparred 3 times a week, and everything went as usual. Before leaving I told Jon where I was going and he was okay with me stepping away from his camp for a short period during my time with friends. One of my coaches suggested going to Liverpool to train with Tom, who was coached by his friend. I agreed, but made it clear that Tom's team should know I was training with Jon, so they wouldn't think I was spying. I also called Jon to inform him, and asked if he was fine with it. He said, 'Okay, do whatever you want. No problem, let me know how it goes.' I trained and sparred with Tom, but didn't share any secrets about Jon. However, the next day Brandon Gibson called me and said Jon was upset about my decision to train with Aspinall and didn't want to see me at the gym anymore. I tried to contact Jon, but he didn't respond. I texted him, but the result was the same. Later I noticed he unfollowed me on Instagram, so I guess it's over." End quote. Colby Covington opened up about his recent altercation with Paddy Pimblett, which happened backstage at UFC 314. The tension adds another layer to the ongoing narrative of Colby beefing with just about everyone from fans to fighters to even his own teammates. But while the drama keeps following him, his fighting career has hit a weird phase. Coming off a controversial doctor stoppage loss to Joaquin Buckley, Colby didn't look like the same fighter who once pushed Kamaru Usman to the edge in back-to-back wars. Against Buckley, he was hesitant, flat-footed, and seemed far more interested in survival than trying to win.
And one little scuffle backstage, you know, Paddy wanted to say some shit when I was walking by, so I had to confront him. I had to let him know he's a little bitch boy. The combined losing streak of his last 3 opponents, look it up, guys, it's 13 losses in a row. He wants to act like he's relevant and he's a star. He's a fucking nobody, bro. You're a nobody. You've never headlined an event. You've never done anything worthy. You've never been a top contender. You're a fucking scrub. The only reason fucking people care about you because you're an Ellen DeGeneres looking fucking scrub. And to be honest, it's because you got a bowl cut and an English accent. That's the only reason people want to look at you. So, you know, Paddy Pimblett's a little bitch. He needs to stop running my name through his mouth. Just stay relevant, because he's just using me to stay relevant, because he's never accomplished anything. He's never going to get to a title fight. He's never going to win a title, period. He's a fucking irrelevant bum. So when he starts cutting all that weight and cutting chromosomes, and he wants to come to a real man's weight class and fight a real man, he can get his ass whooped. So he needs to keep my name out of his mouth, otherwise he's going to end up with my foot in his ass.
Sure. Here's the rewritten version without commas. Thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.